A record-breaking 75 million ransom paid to Dark Angels gang. This is a hacking group similar to that of Lockbit or Imitate. These guys are capable of selecting a specific target and make sure they achieve their goal. Guys, welcome to the dark side of AI you should be concerned about. The introduction of AI to the public has gone viral, and it's taken over the younger generations. Everyone wants to learn about AI and use it for their benefit. And to do that, they are feeding AI with everything regarding themselves: personal writing style, personality style, way of communication, and all of that. And AI is never satisfied in receiving these informations. AIs are very keen on learning more about the users. Now, the question is that, have you ever paused to think and ask, what is the main goal of AI learning more about me? Well, we will get to that later. But let's look at the dark side quickly of AI that you probably ignores much of the time. AIs, back then were a private matter. Only some special coders had access to AI capabilities, but the introduction of it to the public has given even people who were still learning the hacking system to gain a quick and a rapid usage of AI to attack randomly, indiscriminately, anything that they feel is a target. They will attack it without thinking about, the consequences and the damage they are capable of doing to these people. Now, AI is in the hands of a noob or a beginner hacker is deadly because they don't need expert skills, because they already have an expert in their hand, and that is AI. Now, most of the prominent AIs attacks that are becoming a serious threat to both individuals and organizations are AI-controlled ransomwares. AI-controlled ransomwares or malwares, if you want to put it that way. I think it's acceptable. Let's mention the most prominent ones. Lockbit. We have Lockbit here. Lockbit ransom gang claims attack on. You see that this kind of gives us an information about what. This is not an old news. I'm just trying to let you see what's going on. Lockbit latest attack shows why fintech needs more zero trust. We'll get back to that one too. We have Lockbit strike back after FBI takedown with new ransom attack details. Now, I think you should just relax. Don't get scared yet, because the worst is still to come. Now, this is CrowdStrike. Remember, 2 weeks ago, CrowdStrike has a bug issue in their update release that shattered airports, hospitals, and even banks. Well, they also have a software for. They are a security company too. They have their Falcon security software that they boast so much about. Right now, let's see what went wrong. You see, they say that the bug that actually took place was that the update that they were creating to roll it out for their clients was automatically sent out, and their client system started downloading the update, and that was the cause of the shattering of systems, airport systems, and bank systems, and hospital systems, and so forth. I think you should be more inquisitive when things like this I stated, a bug. They call it a bug that accidentally sent out an update, even though they weren't done with the update yet. So I'll leave that to you to judge, okay? Now we have this one. FBI just issued new warning over AI malware attacks. How to stay safe. I know. We'll get to that. Now let's see what this Palo Networks say. They're also a security company. Now they talked about a polymorphic malware. I was coming to this because this is actually the most scary part. Mutation. The malware automatically modifies its code. Okay, it automatically modifies its codes each time it replicates or infects a new system. What does that mean? The polymorphic malware actually is like a mutation. It infects computer A, and then when it's done with computer A, it changes the code before it sends to computer B, C, D, and so forth. So it kind of modifies the type of infection on every different target. So prior to the AI systems, the same code was sent. Both nets were done like with the same code sent to infect different systems. Now, AI has made it so easy for attackers that the computer is infected with computers are infected with different codes, even though it is the same malware. Polymorphic malware often uses encryption to hide its payload, further complicating detection and analysis. What does that mean? It means that the code is encrypted, so our antivirus cannot detect it. Okay, antivirus cannot detect it. Now, the obfuscation. The malware employs various techniques to conceal its true functionality, such as dead code insertion, register renaming, and instruction substitution. And you know what is doing that? AI is the one doing that, because AI understands the language of the virus, the malware. AI understands it better and knows how to manipulate its way through multiple systems without being detected. That kind of worries me when I see AIs and stuff like that. But I don't want to, take away the fun. Let's continue. Functionality preservation. Despite the constant changes in its code, polymorphic malware retains its original malicious functionality. Now, look at what this here. Harder to detect and analyze due to its changing nature. Polymorphic malware is more challenging for antivirus software to detect. Now, let me say this honestly. I think that the introduction of AI to the public has a more serious consequences for individual users and companies than ever in history. When you look back in history up till now, the introduction of AI has made attacks against individuals and companies more easy than ever. You're going to be wondering, let's see, IBM. I think the moment you see IBM, you're going to be asking, IBM, what has the IBM got to do with this? IBM has a program called Deep Locker, right? Now, let's see what this Deep Locker is about. The Deep Locker, this class of AI-powered evasive malware conceals its intent until it reaches a specific victim. Now, I want you to read that again. This class of AI-powered evasive malware conceals its intent until it reaches its specific victim. It unleashes its malicious action as soon as the AI model identifies the target through indicators like facial recognition, geolocation, and voice recognition. Now, that should be concerning to you, whether you're a company or an individual user. It should be concerning to you. Now, you'll be asking yourself, why would IBM create a program like that? Of course, security company or tech companies have to create these programs and use it on themselves to see how best they can defend themselves in situations like that. Because if they don't, another person is going to do, well, anyway, let's not even dive deeper into that because we're already seeing more. I am going to mention some of them even more later that you will see why it's scary. So what does this Deep Locker do? It means that it is not a virus. It starts as an innocent malware. In other words, it's not a malware in your system. It will not be detected as a malware in your system until it reaches its main target, and that's where it becomes a malware. Have I stressed that enough for you to understand? It is not a malware until it reaches its main target. That is where it becomes a malware. So tell me, how are you going to control that? Now, it kind of sounds similar to what I said 10 years ago about the fully undetected viruses, which were capable of being detected, but they were being programmed in such a way that they fool antivirus to believe that they are not viruses. This is exactly what the AI... But now, the danger here is this is being done by an AI. The AI that you trust and give everything that you want to do to it to do for you. That's the very person, very thing that's going to use against you. Authority ramp up efforts to capture the mastermind behind Imitate. Now, you're going to be asking, what's Imitate? Imitate is a deadly ransomware. Oh my goodness. It devastated 2023, 2020, early part of 2024, and still ongoing. And authorities globally cannot find who is behind it. You should be worried. I'm going to leave it to you for you to go and look for, do your research, search for Imitate. Because Imitate is a nasty ransomware, very nasty. Do your research, because governments around the world believe that the person behind Imitate is called Odd. But they cannot determine, because Odd is actually not a real name, right? So how are they going to? Now, let's continue. We also have here teams of AI agents. Teams of AI agents can exploit zero-day. Now, I have to be very, very clear about this, and I have emphasize a bit more of this. You know, Google has a project called Project Zero Day. Now, if there is one thing that can actually exploit zero-day, then it is AI. Zero-day vulnerabilities, it is AI. Now, what is zero-day vulnerability? Zero-day is kind of like, you can't fix what is not there. That's what zero-day is about. You can't fix what is not there. I don't know if I've explained that better. You can't fix what is not there. It simply means that there's no virus or vulnerability until it is detected as a vulnerability. But AI can detect a vulnerability and use it to its advantage. That is when it is being used by an attacker to attack. So what attackers usually do is exploit vulnerability in systems in order to use it to attack, and exploit those vulnerabilities to carry out a successful mission. Now, that is what zero-day is about. Zero-day is that the attacker, the victim doesn't know that there is a vulnerability in order to patch it up. So until they detect the vulnerability, damage would have been caused already. And AI is an expert of that. It is the best attacker that can exploit zero-day effectively when it is used as an attacker. You should be worried. Now, let's wrap up the dark side of AI, especially the ugly part, the most ugly part when it comes to security, with this one. Because this one, even the main tech companies are concerned about it. You're going to ask why? Well, let me tell you why. Adversarial AI attacks are actually like this. It's like a good AI against bad AI. Isn't it interesting? Very interesting, right? It's like a good robot against a bad robot. Bad code against good code. Or you can put it this way, a corrupt code against an uncorrupted code. That's what's going on. Now, the adversarial attack usually happens when AI uses its skills against another AI by manipulating its capabilities, its victim's capabilities. In other words, a corrupted ChatGPT will attack another ChatGPT that's not corrupted and corrupt it. It will use its corruption, not necessarily use its corruption. It will carry a corruption code and corrupt another GPT, ChatGPT, or another GPT. Let's put it like that, because they are not necessarily chat, but that's what happens. So a GPT will carry a corrupt code and infect another GPT. That means that it can cause the infected GPT to produce false information. So you ask it for some information and the result will be a false information. It will provide you as false information. That is what adversarial attack is. And this is going on. That means that AI, when it's corrupted, can destroy the world entirely. What does that mean? I'll tell you what it means. It simply means that it will be providing information that is not true. In other words, fake information. Now, let's wrap up. The next thing is the deepfake. Of course, we all know deepfake information when it comes to AIs and stuff like that. The deepfake is something popular, so I don't want us to waste time on it. Look at this photo here. This is the Pope. When this photo came out, people thought that it was a real photo taken by a manual camera. No, this is an AI-generated photo. So it becomes nearly impossible to tell when a photo is real or not real. That's why I say that, years back, people were concerned about, rats having access to their webcams and recording them when they're not aware. But this is a new level. AI introduction made it easier. I don't need to activate your webcam to get real photo of you and manipulate the photo to appear the way I want it. That is what deepfake is about. Now, let's make it even more terrible.
Владимир Владимирович, здравствуйте. Я студент и учусь в Санкт-Петербургском государственном университете. Хочу спросить, правда ли, что у вас много двойников? И еще, как вы относитесь к тем опасностям, которые несет в нашу жизнь искусственный интеллект и нейросети? Спасибо.
Гражданин из Санкт-Петербурга не представился. Да. Вот я смотрю, вы можете быть на меня похожи и говорите моим голосом. Но я подумал и решил, что похожим на себя и говорить моим голосом должен только...
Alright, so I think this kind of gives you a picture of what I'm talking about. Now, that's a video, not a photo. That is a video, a double of a person. So that tells you to be careful. Now, you should start learning how to question everything you see, because AI has made, whilst it has some advantages, it has some things that can make life miserable. So miserable that you'll be wondering, is it even worth it? That's one thing. Now, that is about security. Now, in order not to make a 1 hour video, let's look at how about social issues, work-related issues, right? Let's look at that, right? I watched a movie years back. In this movie, there was a boss that nobody knows who exactly it was. It later came out that the boss was actually a small robot that was giving out all the instructions. When the team finally met the boss, the secretary went to the team and said, like, boss wants to see you. And they were so excited, finally we will get to see this mysterious boss that doesn't want anybody to see. They were shocked, flabbergasted, when they discovered that their boss was actually a robot and not a real person. Let me ask you a question. How would you feel if you work in a company and the person in charge of that company is an AI and not a real person? Do you think it's possible? Well, you don't need to ask because it's already happening. And tell me, what is the impact of an AI boss, AI director, AI manager in your company? You tell me about that. I think you will start scratching your head by now because you know what I'm talking about. You tell me, what does it feel like to have AI boss, AI manager, or AI director? Tell me how you're going to feel about it. The thought of it just kind of freaks me out, right? Using generative AI for candidate selection, improving the recruitment process. Isn't that awesome? Awesome. Using generative AI for candidate selection. Awesome. So you see a job that you want to apply for, and when you submit your CV, the person who decides whether you are qualified or not, or whether you deserve an interview or not, is going to be an AI. And I want you to think about that. An AI, something that have no sentiments. It makes decisions based on some algorithms, some instructions that is given to it in a code. So if the code says this is equal to false, then it's equals to F, or is equal to F, or is equal to T, then that's it. You can't argue, you can't explain anything about it. So you tell me, what kind of error are we going to or driving ourselves to? Because it's worrisome. Look at that. How generative AI is enhancing the recruitment and selection process. Human potential intelligence. This company recently decided to remove some of the responsibilities of the AI because it started destroying their reputation. I guess they were kind of like running way ahead of their time. But I am certain sooner or later they're going to re-implement those steps that they decided to revert back to the previous one. So guys, I know there's so much to cover about these issues, but I just wanted to give you a picture of what is going on so that you can prepare yourself. Wrapping up, AI also decides who lives or die. I know this is a very sad thing to say, but AIs are making decisions on who lives or die, not just the job area, whether you get the job or not, but also it decides on who lives or die. This is a sensitive case, but I have to point it out. We see that weapons are being manipulated, such as drones and even some high-tech missiles are being used and controlled by AIs. So, a drone is instructed to look for specific targets, and that drone decides if this is the real target or not, and then kills the person. So if AI is also involved in decision making as to whether you live or die, I want you to start asking yourself questions. I'll make a video about how to protect yourself whilst using these AIs in order to stay safe in the next video. Thank you guys, and please leave your comments. I know I did not cover everything. There's more to this because it's a huge topic, but I just wanted to point out the most important things that you need to be aware. This is about creating awareness. So let's hope that you have learned something from this, and that the way you use AI, you will reconsider your method of approaching the AIs and how you use them in the near future. Leave your comments and your ideas, suggestions, and I will see you in the next video, which is going to be about staying safe in the AI era. Thank you guys for being with me, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Cheers guys.